My name is Mariia, and you're watching the interview with the most active and initiative members of the Russian-speaking community. And today, I'm speaking with Mariia Sokolova, the co-founder of That1Quiz. Hello, thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting us.
How was your trip here today on Saturday morning? How was it?
It was okay. We had some coffee. It was a good trip, yeah.
Nice. So let's talk about quizzes. So how did you start to make quizzes?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Okay, so first of all, me, Jenny and Alex, we've always liked going to quizzes back home, and then me and Jenny, we were at uni here, well, I'm still at uni, and we've organized a couple of quizzes for Russian-speaking societies that we're part of, evidently. And yeah, so the one I hosted was about a year ago from now, and Jenny was helping me a lot with it, and it went actually really well, and this idea kind of popped up in our head like, oh, this is possible here in London. And so we decided to see if there is anything that we can do for ourselves, as in to go out in London and have a Russian-speaking quiz night. And we didn't find anything that would suit our preferences, because we wanted not just a British pub quiz, we wanted something more of a package deal, because we didn't want just all the smart questions. We wanted logics, like fun, music, and all the entertainment stuff. So we thought we can actually do it out by ourselves, we think. And yeah, and this is how it all started.
Okay, great. You mentioned that there are three of you.
Yeah.
You, Jenny, and Alex.
Yeah.
So what about your roles?
Yeah, it's incredible. I think before we started and as we kept on going, we never realized how many small tasks there are that have to be done in order for an event to actually happen. So we all do a lot of things, and we've rotated a lot around them. But mainly, I think we have our responsibilities. So Jenny is usually doing all the admin stuff. Alex is in charge of questions, he's the main brainstormer for the questions. So if there's anything wrong with the game, do ask him. And I usually do PowerPoint presentations and some of the questions as well. So, but I'm in charge of all the visual things and all the music. Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay, so let's talk about questions. Who creates questions and how does this person do this? What inspires him to do so?
So we all create questions. Yeah, questions are the integral part of the quiz. It really depends on the round. It depends on the game. There are some rounds that we have different responsibilities within the rounds. For example, I usually would do multiple choice and guess the vibe, because they're more creative, simplistic in a way-ish, I guess you could say. So yeah, Alex and Jenny, they have more long-worded questions. They have more, more questions for last rounds. We have crossword, we have last chance, which are quite complicated and packed with different facts. So yeah, it's all of us. We add our little bits.
In your opinion, what is the main purpose of your quiz? Why do you do this?
I think fundamentally we started because we wanted to have just an interesting night out. We wanted something intellectually stimulating in a way, and we wanted to have a good time with our friends. I think the main purpose for everyone is, just to have something different, because people are used to going to, I don't know, clubs, whatever people do. So we thought, why don't we just do something, competitive and team building and interesting and smart and fun and entertaining. So the main purpose is, I think, creating a sense of community within Russian-speaking people. So yeah, that are very like-minded.
If we talk about organizing, what are the difficulties you faced with during organization?
There are a couple of different areas which could be problematic sometimes. I'd say the first one is a place, because it's rather difficult to find a place in London which would be, spacious enough, because we have a lot of people, which would be in a decent location, which would, have screens, because this is what we need. And I think we moved around 4 pubs or so, but we finally managed to find the one where we are now, and we're pretty happy with it. Difficulties, coming up with questions. Because I feel like sometimes we think that maybe this is it. We can't make any more questions, but it's going pretty well so far. We still have potential.
Okay. What about your steps if you organize quiz? How do you contact pubs? How does it take place?
Yeah, so currently we're in a pub in Angel, which we really do like, and we just booked the function room, and it's there for us every week now, since we're going to start hosting the English-speaking quizzes as well. So yeah, we have a place, then we announce the game on Instagram, or we'll also have a website so people can register in there, and then we try to do as much promotion as possible, ask our friends around, ask anybody really if they want to come to the game.
Okay.
And people register, then Jenny is responsible for that. She's contacting all the people. Sometimes it can get tricky when they don't reply, or when they're like, oh
yeah,
I missed the day, but like it's always fine. Everybody is usually very nice about it, and then yeah.
Let's talk about future then. How do you see the future of your quizzes?
I think, well, first of all, we are definitely going to keep doing the Russian-speaking ones, because they are just very close to heart. They're just really, really nice. I really love them. So we're going to be doing English-speaking quizzes as well, and we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully people love the format, because it's a very new thing. They're used to British pub quizzes, and what we offer is something very different. And we have an experience of hosting private quizzes for companies and individuals. So we'd want to do something more like that in the future, and just genuinely, I think, shift our focus. Well, not shift our focus, but do something, maybe some entertaining team building events for, yeah.
And let's talk about personal characteristics. When you make quizzes, in your opinion, which characteristics help you to organize it?
I think it's about creativity, and every single one of us in the host team, I think we're very creative. We let ourselves think outside of the box, in terms of, there are some questions which might seem a bit like, what? But they're actually...
Yes, I agree, yes.
Yeah, but if you look at them, they're actually really beautifully made, and you're like, oh, I see now. So yeah, it's sort of this vibe that we get on, and we're like, oh yes, let's make some crazy questions.
Do you remember the awkward moments that you've had during your quizzes?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we had any awkward moments, more so surprising, like for ourselves. So we have game seasons. It's when we combine all the teams' points as they come to the games, and then we look at the winners, so who has the maximum points. And I think it was the end of season 2. It was, I think, mid-December 2022. And we're calculating like all the points, and we see that 2 teams have the exact number of points, like they are the same. And we were like, oh my God, what do we do? But yeah, luckily for us, because we usually calculate so that the team who got the most points, like the latest, as in the last round or the last game, they win. So it was one of the teams. So yeah, luckily for us, the points were not the same in the last game. But yeah, that was like, oh my God, what was that? Yeah, that was probably the most awkward one.
What would you advise for future teams which comes to your quiz? So how do you need to prepare? What do I need to read to be prepared for the next game?
Well, you don't need to read anything. You're just fine. You're just fine on your own. Yeah, we are not making our quizzes super difficult. We're trying to make them more relatable and general knowledge and logics and things like that. And actually, I really like quizzes, because I think sometimes people may think that knowledge that they have is not very useful. However, they come to a quiz and they're like, this is something I can use here. So yeah, you don't need any extra preparation. All the questions are I'd say we have a lot of layers, and we have a lot of hints. So you don't need anything special, to come and prepare. So you'll be just fine on your own.
Okay, thank you. So what would you wish to our audience today? So
I think I'd wish so that you can find something that would make you smile every day. May it be our quiz or anything else. Yay.
Great. Don't forget to smile and never give up. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Peace.